What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Wednesday Project Podcast, brought to you by your host, Brandon Lara. Joining me is my co-host,
Jackie.
And joining us is a special guest. May you introduce yourself, bro?
Josiah. I guess like today it's on the summer sales industry, yeah?
Yeah, so just to give you a little background, we brought Josiah in. We're actually neighbors, but we know each other from high school, and we used to wrestle together. So then after a while...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me and him know each other from wrestling, because I think you were in the weight class below me, right?
A couple weight classes below you. In high school, I was puny.
What were you wrestling at?
113, 120.
Yeah, and I was at 132.
Yeah.
So I was a bit heavier. But we know each other from then. And then, so fast forward high school. I moved high schools and then come back senior year, and you're not there anymore because you're older than me. So then after that, I have no idea what happened to you, right? Like, we just lost contact. So then I see you at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And then I have you saved on my phone as Josiah Home Depot, because that's how I remember who you are and where I saw you last time. I didn't know your last name. So, yeah. But before we get into the conversation, it's going to be really, really juicy, because we're going to talk about summer sales and what you do now. So it's going to be fun. But I just want to say thank you all for listening, tuning in. Make sure you guys are having a great day at the time of this recording. Take care. Blessings to all. Do you have a special message for the listeners?
Yeah, screw a 9 to 5.
Yeah, there you go. I believe in that too. Cool. So then, yeah, we reconnected at Home Depot. And then at the time, I'm not sure if I was following you on Instagram, my old Instagram account, or if I was on Snapchat. I'm not sure where I saw you, but I knew you had a YouTube channel.
I think it was Instagram, if I remember right. But like you had my number, so like you texted me instead of like Instagram.
Right, yeah. So then I saw you had a YouTube channel, and then that's kind of, I deleted my Instagram account after that, and then so after that, it was just, we kind of went our own way again.
Yeah.
Until now that we move in, and then I see you again, I'm like, oh shit, there's Josiah. So, to recap, what happened with the YouTube channel?
Like honestly, it was just kind of an experiment.
Yeah.
I never, like I've always been like screw a 9 to 5. Like I don't want to do the exact same thing everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'll probably get back into it at some point.
For sure.
I just like doing things that other people aren't doing. I don't know. That's just me though.
So, okay. So you were working at, so kind of help me understand. So you got out of high school. Did you go to college?
Nah.
So then you went straight into working.
Yeah. I worked at like a factory. I'm not sure if you know it, Northwest.
Yeah. I've heard of it, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it meat?
Like, huh?
Is it like
No. It's cosmetics.
Oh,
Northwest.
Yeah.
I used to work there.
Yeah, so I think that's where like I had saw her once again.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I worked there what was it?
I think it had to have been your junior year, yeah.
Yeah, because Jackie and you know each other from high school too.
Yep. I was in lower level classes. School was never my thing, not because I was like stupid.
It's just never your forte?
Yeah, I just never liked doing schoolwork, like homework.
Yeah.
I passed all my classes by not doing a single page of homework.
Damn. So you cheated?
No, I just never did homework.
Damn.
Like, because how they grade homework,
Yeah.
it's like 30% of your grade.
Yeah,
So I just did great on the other 70%, like tests, quizzes, and like attendance.
Damn, I
How?
should have done that shit too.
Yeah.
I did that shit too, though.
Well, like, didn't we
I paid
have
for
We had
someone.
math, geometry.
with Peterson, right?
Yeah, I freaking hated that
Yeah,
class.
I
was
loved
never
that
there.
class. Crazy thing is, like, I went out and I was short a math credit, and they hadn't told me until the third try of my senior year.
Shit.
And so I had to get like a packet from an alternative school. Long story short, she helped me cheat.
Dang.
Like she literally did
She
the.
never fucking helped me.
She literally
Was
did
Peterson
the test for me.
Like the blonde
She was
Yeah.
blonde, yeah.
and like short
Short.
blonde
Yep.
hair. I had her too for my senior year math, but she was really nice to me.
She
was
always,
awesome.
You know, gave me good vibes, I guess. But so you're out of high school. You're working at cosmetics, and then what happens after that?
So I worked there for like a year and a half, and then I like decided I was like, Idaho is like, so am I able to use
Yeah,
profanity?
dude. Go ahead. This
Okay,
is
so
explicit.
I was
Explicit
like,
friendly.
This guy.
I was like,
It
Idaho is a shithole. Like
Still
nothing
is.
but country hicks. Like it sounds terrible. Like
Yeah.
it truthfully does. Like a lot of people like would probably disagree with me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not for city kids. It's not for people that want a different future. It's
Yeah.
for people that love working a 9 to 5. They love farming. Townies basically. Anyone that's never gonna leave Idaho Falls
Yeah.
are people that stay here.
It's the people who are comfortable with being okay with being comfortable.
Yeah,
You know?
like literally, like the definition of not going anywhere in life. Like
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
people might be like sitting okay, like
And a
on
lot
money.
of them, yeah, a lot of them already know before they even graduate what they're gonna do in college and the rest of their life. And a lot of it is, we see. I mean, there's probably more clinics than restaurants,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of that is because we have a college and it's cheap as hell if you're involved in a religion that's around here. And it's just the truth, It's just the truth. It is what it is. And but no disrespect to anyone, but it's just the truth,
Yeah.
If you're part of this religion, you go to the school and you get your classes way cheaper than an actual college, than a different type of college where you
Yeah.
have to go and apply and pay for it. This one you get a lot of help with it. So these kids go in there for, I can tell you right now, either a doctor, lawyer, or
So like
Accountant.
basically, like what I would say is like all these kids, they're literally born with their life planned out ahead of them.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't even get to choose. Like it's their parents that
Yeah.
they're like, okay, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and
Yeah.
boom, then
Crazy
you're going
story.
to retire.
I was working at a house because I'm a painter, so I was painting this house, and in this room it's like an office room, right? There was pictures of the dad, grandpa, grandpa, just goes all the way down the lineage, like 10 years of just history of these doctors, and the son was next,
Dang.
and he was the one. It's 10 years of doctors, like the dad was a doctor, the grandpa, the great grandpa, and it just goes down the road, and it's like, damn, like this guy's literally the next doctor in his family, and he actually, Dr. Linguistic, I think it's his name. He has a clinic here next to the hospital. But I painted his house, and I was like, damn, dude, this guy followed just as his dad did with his dad. The same footsteps.
That's
Didn't
fucking
change at all.
crazy.
Yeah. He has a whole basketball court in his house, though, downstairs.
That's sick.
So that shit worked out for him.
Oh, bro.
That shit was nice. But, okay, so you got out of high school, and then you're like, you're working cosmetics, and then you're like, fuck, dude. I'm not going to go anywhere here.
Yeah.
Anywhere where you want to go, essentially. But what do you decide to do then?
So I decided to like text my uncle. Like
Yeah.
I was born in Michigan.
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't born here. Like I've
Gotcha.
been tons of places.
Yeah.
I was born in Michigan, lived in Tennessee, Mississippi, California, and of course here.
Yeah.
But like I never like knew what I was gonna do. Like I never had that plan that everyone else had.
Yeah.
And so I texted my uncle. I was like, "Hey, can I come stay with you? Like to get on my feet, start my own life." He
In
goes,
Michigan?
Yeah.
Cool.
And he goes, "Yeah, like rents this, like you got to do this." And then when I got over there, it was an entire ball game.
Oh, wow.
Like I had a job already lined up with another factory. So like get that. It's
Yeah.
like I just went from a factory to another factory.
Yeah.
But this factory, it's like known for its benefits. Like we made auto dimming mirrors. So like
Okay.
typically on
Yeah.
these newer vehicles that you see,
Yeah.
if you look behind it, it'll say Gentex. And I was
Oh,
making those.
interesting.
And
That's
they,
pretty cool.
yeah, they also manufacture like airplane glass. So airplane windows, they make
Yeah.
them.
Damn.
So I was doing all that kind of stuff, and I was making like 14 an hour. But once again, like I had,
Same type of.
yeah,
work.
at the factory here, I was working graveyard shift. And so when I went over there, like graveyard shift is what I knew, and I already knew factory. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back into graveyard and factory. I was working like 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and I was paying him rent. So like, think of probably from this wall right here to like this wall here,
That's your
But
room.
at the end of like this tripod, that way, that was my room.
Oh, shit.
It was like 20 feet. Like,
What?
not kidding you. I could lay down.
How much were you paying for that?
He was having me pay $200,
Damn.
$200 a month.
Dang.
And
That's not even a studio.
exactly. Like I was paying $200 a
bedroom.
month. And like it got to a point where it was COVID season. So 2019,
yeah.
I had gotten laid off at that factory. And so I was getting unemployment. It was sick, but like it was half of what I was making working all the overtime I was.
Yeah.
And so then like what happened was I would literally sit at home, like because I was getting unemployment, I was paying him, like he had nothing to complain about.
Right.
And then once they lifted that stay-at-home release, like everyone hated, what's her name? Gretchen Whitmer, I think it is, the governor of Michigan.
Okay.
I think that's what her name was or is. But she lifted the stay-at-home release. And so once she did that, I'm not sure if you guys like know anything about Michigan, but it's surrounded by 5 lakes.
Yeah.
It's,
The famous 5 lakes.
yeah, it's called Holmes. Huron, Ontario. All right, whatever. I don't know them all. So, like, I was 20 minutes away from the beach.
Okay.
And so I would literally drive over there every day. I'm looking for social interaction because I'm a social person.
Right.
And we were just locked up for like 3 months. They're like, don't go anywhere, don't go outside. Like, wear your mask even when you're inside with your family that you live with, which makes 0 sense.
Yeah, which is insane because, I mean, talking about COVID season, here it wasn't that bad. You know, I don't think here was completely locked down to what you experienced. I think here it was just mostly like, hey, wear your mask when you're going outside.
So
and whatnot.
you guys didn't have like a stay-at-home order?
No. There were certain companies I know of, I'm pretty sure that did have that, but it was a rule that they put in themselves. It wasn't like the governor that came out and said, hey,
What the
that's
hell?
scary.
That scared the crap out of me.
That's Siri.
Is that the one you want?
What were you
Siri.
looking for? What'd Siri say? What were you looking for?
AAA.
Oh, AAA.
AAA insurance. Shit.
Sick.
No, but yeah, I think it was here we didn't have that lockdown, huh?
That's crazy. See, in Michigan, like we were completely locked down. Like the streets were dead. If you were caught out past a certain time, like you got a ticket.
It was a
Oh,
jail.
dang.
It was basically jail up there.
It was like a fat ticket or jail time.
No, I got my COVID shot so I could go out.
I didn't get that shit fucked up.
Me neither.
I don't believe in that.
I got that. Well, I got it because my parents wouldn't let me go out if I didn't have it. So I was like, shit.
See, there was no way that they couldn't pay me 10 grand to get that shot.
I didn't get that shot either.
No.
I was like, this is sketchy.
Nah.
They developed the whole vaccine in under 2 years. They don't even know what the long-term effects of it are.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing is that I got it. I got COVID, so then I got the shot, and then I got COVID again.
Well, yeah, it made some people sick. Like even
Some
after
people
the
got heart
vaccine,
attacks.
some
Yeah.
people died after the vaccine.
Yeah, some people, and a lot of it, the government tried to cover up. Dr. Fauci, fuck you for covering up. I don't know about your ass. Yeah, fuck you, Fauci. But he
Ain't slick.
no, you ain't slick at all. But he did cure the STD season back in the 80s, so shout out to you for that one. Yeah, he really did that.
No, but he got the credit back in '80s,
Yeah.
and then he fucked up in
And then he fucked up
2020.
20.
So like, no,
Take that credit
fuck
away.
that guy.
No, but okay, so you're in Michigan, you're going through all this lockdown. So is that when you're like, okay, I'm gonna go back?
No, so after the lockdown was released, I would go to the beach every single day trying to find social interaction.
Yeah.
And at some point, I don't remember how. Actually, I do. I was driving my car. I was on my way back home, and I see this Mini Cooper, and I downshift in my non-fast car, and him and I are both going really slow, but thinking we're like in a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
And like I look over, I was like, and he goes, and he put down his window, and I was like, yo, bro, what are you doing later? And he goes, bro, I'm headed to a park right now to hang out with a bunch of homies. There's like 30 of us.
Dang.
You should come. And I was like, I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah.
We turn the corner. I get over there, and he was not lying. He was actually under exaggerating. Like there was like
People?
50 people. There were 30 cars.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so I became friends with all these guys. We hung out every single day during summer. And it got to a point midsummer when my uncle was like, hey, like, you're not home. Like, I don't know why you're out so much every day, but you're not home. At this point, I'm 19. I'm 20.
Yeah.
And
you're
he's
like, what
saying
the
all
hell?
this stuff. I'm like, dude, you're not my dad.
And
Yeah.
you're paying.
And you're
Literally,
paying him rent.
I'm paying $200 for a 20 square foot room, so it should not matter how much I'm going because I'm still paying rent.
Right.
And so he kicked me out.
Damn.
And I called my mom, and I was like, hey, like, I don't know what to do. Got nowhere to go. Like, I just made some friends, but, like, I don't know them like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm about to go on vacation. Like, let me bring you my car. And so I lived out of her car for about a month.
Damn.
Then she needed her car back, so I had to go out and find one. I
Oh,
went out, I got a car, and at that point, I had to find a job in order to pay for that car.
Yeah.
So I started working at a car dealership, and I was detailing, making like 12 an hour, which is,
Yeah.
like,
It's,
but
it's hard to live off 12 an hour nowadays.
yeah. So
Especially here.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously, weird that Idaho has the lowest minimum wage,
Yeah,
but
$7.25.
Some of the highest fucking rents
Yeah.
ever.
everything, like, that's crazy.
I mean, we want to move out of this place because it's just like, dude, it's eating us up.
What do you guys pay?
We're paying $14.86.
Lucky you guys.
Yeah.
What are you paying?
$16.50.
Damn.
What the hell?
Why?
My girlfriend has a dog or a cat. My mom has a cat and a dog. She's not home very often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
Well,
they
I mean-
charge like 200 for pets, don't they?
no, it's 50. 50 a
50?
month.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
read it wrong. but-
realistically, that only hikes it up about $150, which puts me at $1,500. So I'm
Yeah.
still paying $1,500 for 3 people
It's a lot of money. A lot
in
of
a
money.
2-bed, 2-bath. Wait, is your guys' 2-bed, 2-bath?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're nice, but then shit, you see that rent coming in, and then you're like, fuck.
You're like, I don't know if it's this nice.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it.
It's not
Yeah.
that nice.
Plus, it gets really cold. I don't know if your apartment gets cold or not,
It
but
does.
this apartment.
Yeah,
has
well, we
been
have that
cold.
little heater, but sometimes,
Yeah, it
like
doesn't do this-
yesterday,
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
even
cute.
doing shit.
That's a cute little heater.
So
I got like a $50 one that like stands this tall.
damn.
Well,
Heats up the
ours
place.
was 52, huh? We were between
For
one
that
of
little
those
thing?
big
Yeah,
ones
dude.
that you were talking about and one of these.
Yeah.
I
We
got
went with
mine
that
from
one 'cause
Walmart.
of the aesthetics,
Yeah,
you know,
same.
makes the house look nicer. I feel like. That's why we.
Yeah,
went with
well,
that
you turn
little
it
one.
on and you can see the little
It's
fire.
like a little
pits.
campfire.
You're kidding.
No, bro.
Nah, I just got one that was like big. I was like, that's gonna warm up the place. $50. Okay, let's do it.
Fuck. Wish I got that one. No, but back to your story. So, okay, you're struggling through these things, and then
Yep.
keep going. What happens?
So, like, I got that job. I would literally park in the parking lot. I'd sleep overnight, and then I'd wake up like half an hour before I have to go to work because no one's there yet. And I'd turn on my car to get warm, and everyone thought I was just showing up to work hella early.
Oh, damn.
And I was sleeping overnight, and I did that
crazy.
for a total of 8 months.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
a long
one month, like the end of summer, like 3 months. It was a total of 8 months.
Yeah.
So,
I have a friend who's doing that right now in California, though. He's
so
out there.
better weather.
Yeah, he's just out there. But I mean, fuck. That will fuck your back up real bad.
Yeah, 8 months, and it wasn't like I was putting down the seats. Like, all my shit was in the car, so I literally slept in that front seat. Like, I would just curl up, like put my
Yeah.
legs on the wheel. That way, like, I didn't accidentally press the gas or something,
Yeah.
and so I'd sleep like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So okay, so then when was it? Cause I think you showed me this. I don't remember though. I saw a post somehow of you saying you used to doubt me back then, but look at me now, or something like that. And you won or got a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? Where was it? Because you were sleeping for 8 months. So then what needed to happen, or who did you meet for you to then be able to post that?
So it sounds super crazy. Fast forward through all that. After being homeless, like, I decided one day, I'm going back to Idaho.
Yeah.
So I drove all the way back over here. And then I had a job. I worked at Walmart, worked at Home Depot, worked at a car wrap company, literally the car wrap company that's like
Yeah, back
next
here.
to our, yeah. um, He pays like $11.50 an hour. Don't go work there.
Damn.
Yeah, awful.
Hell
I
no.
was making $30 for wrapping one car in 3 hours. He was making about $3,000.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
But
We won't say no names. You'll tell me
Yeah,
afterwards, though. I think I know who you're talking about.
yeah. So I did that, and then it wasn't until I started working for a moving company. That moving company, it was terribly unorganized. It was
Yeah.
running for about 8 years before I joined it, and no one was on payroll. He was paying everyone under the table, which was nice.
Yeah.
But it's like when you go to get a car,
A credit
when-
card or
yeah.
something.
like you have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like I threatened to quit that like he decided to get us on payroll. And so once he did, like I realized nothing changed. Like he was still unorganized. I
Yeah.
quit that company, started up my own.
Cool.
And so I started doing the jobs. I'd pay friends like $20-25 an hour to come work.
Moving things.
Yep.
Cool.
And then like it was sick. Like the money was nice, but the one thing it missed was consistency because it was like a new industry.
Yeah.
And so one day, like this is the craziest part.
Yeah.
One day I was just playing PlayStation and I just hear this guy. He goes, "Hey, if you want to be like me, make $35,000 in 5 months of work, DM me." And I was like,
Bet.
"You're a scammer." I literally said it. I was like, "No, that sounds like a scam." He
Yeah.
goes, I get it, bro. Like, if you want to buy Louis, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, like all these douchebag designer brands that, like, realistically a lot of people want. I was like, "Yep, sounds cool, but you sound like a scammer. Thanks, though."
Yeah.
And he goes, "All right, well, if you change your mind, DM me." I was like, "Yeah, cool. Not going to happen, but yeah." And so in the 30 seconds, I was like, okay, realistically, like, what if this is true?
Right.
Like, what if, like, that's real?
Yeah.
And so I took out my phone. I was like, I'm not going to let my pride win this time. I'm going
Right.
to DM him. So I DM'd him. He starts telling me about this job. And I was like, all right, what do you have to show for it? Like, show me something.
Yeah.
He had nothing to show. And I was like, okay, this is sounding scammy again.
Yeah.
And I was like, get me in contact with some higher ups. He got me in contact with my manager and the owner of the office. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, what was that? Is that me? Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so once he got me in contact with them, they were telling me, like, okay, this is a job. This is how you're going to make money.
Yeah.
Like, and what sold me on it was they were like, for 5 months, rent is covered. I was like,
Dang.
damn. So I just went from living out of a car for 8 months and couch surfing for another 4
Yep.
to hear that.
You're like, let's do it.
I'm like, where do I sign?
Yeah. So okay. So just for the people to know what this job is, what is it that it is?
Door-to-door sales. So the most raw form of sales that there is out there.
Summer sales? Would you call them summer sales?
Yeah, some people call it summer sales, but for others, it's like a career path. And my manager, midsummer, he asked me, he goes, "Hey, are you thinking about coming out next summer?"
Yeah.
I was like, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
this now became my 5-year plan.
Yeah. Now this is kind of the career you're going for.
Yep.
So okay. So you meet these guys, and actually, funny because I was in a business when we reconnected at Home Depot. I don't think you were doing this yet at that time, but I was like, "Yeah, dude, we should sit down for the business," and we never did though. But in the business I was in, they always looked at door-to-door sell, and this is not my opinion about them. I think they're great, and I can go more in detail about that. But the opinion of these guys that I was mentoring with at the time, their opinion on door-to-doors was like, "Hey, yeah, that's a cute career to follow, but it's something that you're gonna have to do consistently, and what's it called? And there's no long-term revenue as far as like passive income."
So,
You
to give you a little more insight on that,
Yeah.
knocking doors makes you rich.
Yeah.
Building a team makes you wealthy. So there is some truth to that, but that's for the guys that aren't bought in.
Yeah. So, cause that was my mentor did at the time. He did door-to-doors, right? And he had done that, and he kind of told me the same thing. He's like, "It's good, you'll really good people skills and you'll learn how to sell. But if you want something that's passive income for long term, then it won't be there. And at the time I was sold on that idea. I was like, fuck yeah, this is why I'm in this business, you know? Now I'm not in that business anymore. But
He's like, this is why I signed on.
yeah, I was like, this is why I'm here. Fuck, all them door-to-door people, they're fucking losing their minds out there, losing time. Well, I was like, I'm gonna make $100K here in the next year, and I fucking never made 100. I didn't make like $1,000 in that business. So then I leave that business, and then I connect with a friend who does door-to-door too, but he's in another company from yours.
Am I able to like say the company?
Yeah, sure, dude. Go ahead.
Is it Aptive?
Yeah, he's an Aptive, and so I started following him, and I was like, you know what? And for me, door to doors are something that I'm like, I probably could do it, but it's just hasn't never been an interest of mine. But I was like, it's pretty badass to see what he's been able to do, in regard to what my mentors was telling me at the time, which was completely different. Because this guy had they buy real estate with their money, from what I know. So I was like, well, there's passive income in that.
Yeah.
So my mentors over here was telling me something that was biased, and I was believing that biased.
So it truthfully comes down to like battle of the industries.
Yeah.
So what your mentor was doing was he was trying to get you to side with him.
Yeah.
Because once he gets you to believe that, no one can change your mind.
And no one did, right? I mean, she experienced that mindset for a good time.
Oh yeah.
Because I was so
It was
hardcore.
tough.
So for you guys to know what I was in an MLM, so multi-level marketing business, and the one I was in was pretty legit, and I knew that because of the fucking paperwork I saw and the research I did. But the amount of, I don't want to call it brain, the amount of ideas or bias opinions that they put out there in this company, now thinking about it, it's like I can see why people get hooked on it.
Yeah.
And some of them don't come out, right? But
It's
for me,
because they don't know any different once they've been
they get locked.
brought into the belief.
Yeah, exactly. They get locked into it, and I was locked into it for a good amount of time. I mean, it was insane, and I learned a lot. But at the same time, I was like, "Fuck."
Okay, was your return versus your time worth it?
Not at all.
Actually, the return I got was lessons I learned and how much I grew as a person. So for the time I was in that company or in that team, part of that team, what I took away with or what I walked away with, to me, it's pretty valuable.
So would you say that was like what the lessons you walked away with was worth the time you lost?
Yes. Yeah, because I started that business when I was 16, so I was learning a lot about this. I think we share some of the ideas that you have, like a 9 to 5 is not the way to go. Yeah. You know, if you have your own business, sure, you're gonna have more money, but if the business, needs you, then you have no time. So some of those learnings teachings I was learning at 16. So when I got out of high school, I was already kind of like, yeah, college is not the way, because there's no future there unless you're going in for a lawyer degree or doctor degree. If you want to be an entrepreneur, then you're not going to find it in college.
Well, so it's funny you say that because my manager, he went to college, and actually a good amount of the guys that I work with all went to college.
Oh, that's interesting.
My manager graduated with a nursing degree. Since he got that degree,
He hasn't used it at all?
he's never used it.
Yeah, so I was learning a lot about that stuff, and I was actually going to go to college for a business degree, but then I figured I'd ask someone in high school about business degrees, and then the lady told me that her husband got a business degree, but then was working at Cal Ranch, and I was like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense to me. How can you go get a business degree and then not own your own business, but go work at Cal Ranch? Yeah. Not to diss on anyone that works at Cal Ranch, but I don't know. This is what I was looking at the time. I was like, this is making no sense. And so what made sense to me was to keep learning what what my mentor at the time was teaching me. Because I was like, well, he has the lifestyle I want. He has the money, he has the time, and obviously it's working for him. So if it works for him, why wouldn't it work for me? So then, I got locked into that shit, but it was good. I enjoyed it for the time I was there. No bad things to say about that company.
Fair enough.
But okay, so then you meet your mentors, and then you get locked in. Essentially, you're like, yeah, sign me up. I'm gonna go live free for 5 months. So then you start door to door. And how's that experience?
So, like, there's a mantra. Like, do you know what a mantra is?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a mantra that I learned like throughout this summer, and I made it like to keep me going.
Yeah.
Because when you're out there, like the money sounds good at the start. Like when they tell you about the money, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and make that money. But when you get out there,
Not easy.
people think like, okay, like it sounds like a scam.
Yep.
But when they really, really experience like what we're going through, like they understand.
Yeah, because it's not easy. I mean, I know for a fact, door to door sounds easy. Summer sales sounds easy, but it's not easy because you're out there knocking on doors all day long, getting rejected. What, 70% of the time you'd say?
I'd say for newer guys, it's probably a good 90%, 95%.
That's a lot of no's in your face.
Yeah. So to touch on that, like my first 3-4 weeks out there, I probably talked to like 2,000 people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Not a single person told me yes.
It's a lot of
Not one.
lot of no's.
And so, yeah, like at that point, I was like, okay, like manager, like I'm not going to say names, but manager,
Yep.
bro, I've tried everything. Like this is tough. And I think I'm ready to pack my bags.
Gotcha.
And
Because do they give you teachings when you're out there before you go out there, like books to read on like, for example, how to win influence, how to win, what's the book called? How to win friends and influence people. They never like give you those type of books.
no, so what they give us is our sales training manual.
Oh, okay.
So we have all the like resources we need in order to succeed. But for some people, like it's an in-person thing.
Yeah.
So you've got to learn.
Yeah, it's not like the human touch.
Yeah, you can't just like look at it and be like, all right, I'm going to do that and exactly duplicate it.
Yep.
And so for me, like I was like, I'm ready to go home. And if it wasn't for him, I probably would still be homeless. I probably would still be living out of a car and working 9 to 5s. Because he told me, he goes, I get you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it is tough. Just do me a favor. I was like, I just knocked 3-4 weeks, made no sales, and don't know this guy, but
That's
he's
early
asking me
still.
for a favor.
That's still early into
Yeah.
the 5 months. I mean, you're gonna quit not even a third in.
Yeah. And he goes, do me one favor. I was like, what? He goes, just knock one more week.
Yeah.
And that 1 week changed my summer. I went out there, I made a few sales, a few more, a few more, a few more. And 5 months later, I had just finished I'd say one of the top in our office for rookies. I want to say, so for first years, it's like I was one of the last guys to get a sale.
Yeah.
Hands down. I was probably one of the last guys in our office.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this guy get a sale and that guy and everyone else. And in my mind, like you can imagine, I'm like, man.
Yeah. The discouragement that you went through.
I'm
yeah.
like, there's no way this guy is selling, but I'm not.
Yeah. Like what's making it work for him? That's not for me.
Exactly.
You know? Or
It's
what's the
like-
difference between him and me?
Like truthfully, you get to a point where it's like, bro, like I know I work harder than this guy.
Yeah.
And so like I had finished the summer and all those guys that had sold before me, they all quit. They folded.
wow.
They folded within the first month. So if I would have quit, I would have been one of them.
So what was it that made that like changed for you? Because if you weren't selling for 4 or 5 weeks and then you started selling the week after, so week 6, let's say, was it like something different that you were saying? Was it just the attitude? Was it the mindset of like, fuck, I'm not gonna quit even if I get a no? What was it that changed for you after you had that conversation?
So it was literally like
Yeah.
the flip of a switch. It was like, okay, my mindset's got to change. My attitude has to change. Like
Yep.
I've got to work harder because I know I work harder than anyone in here.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't have the talent that some of these dudes had,
Yeah.
but I knew I had the work ethic. And so midsummer, like on days where I just got shit on like 50 doors in a row, like I'd use this mantra. It's called I will persist, I will persevere because I am resilient. And I would
that's
just
good.
repeat that.
Yeah.
And I'd be walking to the next door, just saying it, knock the door.
Yeah.
I'm still saying it. They're about to open the door. Game mode.
Right. Yeah, and you know, that's funny because I can relate to that because I wasn't door to door knocking, but I was talking to 10, 15 people a day, just random strangers, just trying to. It was me trying to like just really get to know who the person is and see if there was a possibility of me getting to sit down with them to talk about this business that I had. You know,
almost got me. You
this
almost got
this
me.
opportunity, and I shit.
Almost.
I will say I got pretty fucking good at people skills. You know, I had that shit memorized of what I was gonna say after each question that they would answer. But again, I would see these other guys in the team. They were growing. And I was like, that guy's uglier than me. How the fuck is he growing? You know, like that guy's weird. How is he growing? You know, and I wasn't judging them like too bad, but I was just like, how is
Too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
Just
I
that
was
guy's
just like,
ugly
how the
and that
fuck is-
guy's weird.
I was like, how is he growing and I'm not, you know? But for me, what I found out, especially now after leaving the business, a lot of it was me not being consistent with a lot of these things that I needed to be consistent with, right? Because we both know this, but the more consistent you are, the more fruit, you know, your tree will grow.
Yeah, consistency definitely beats pop-off days.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're consistent rather than, like, 5 this day, 0, 0, 0, 5 that day,
Yep.
0, 0, 0. Like, consistency of, like, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Like, that's a
Yeah.
lot better than 5, 0,
Yeah.
0, 0.
That's what my mentor at the time told me when I was going through a lot of these struggles. He's just like, dude, honestly, it's a numbers game. You just gotta go through the numbers, and that's all you have to think about. And I'm like, okay. And so I can relate to you. So okay, so you end the summer, and then you come home with what?
What in the sense of, like,
Well,
anything?
yeah,
like,
like-
what did I gain out of it?
Yeah, let's say 3. I don't know, lessons, money, teachings.
Okay.
What did you come home
I've
with?
for sure got 3 for you. So, like, ultimately, like, I came home with the money. The
Yeah.
money was sick. Like, the money is great. Like, it got me out of living in my car.
Yep.
But ultimately, like, it gave me a skill set that I can use for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
The ability to effectively communicate a subject or a subject, a product, or a service to another person.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing it gave me. So when I was going out there, I was like, okay, like, let me see if I have friends that want to go.
Yeah.
Yo, do you want to go? Yo, do you want to come out with me? Do you want to try this job? Like, hitting up all
Yeah.
my friends. Every single person gave me the same answer. No, bro, sounds like a scam. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I like it here. Like,
Yeah.
like everyone loves their 9 to 5. For what
Yeah.
reason? I could
I
not tell
fucking
you.
hate it.
I don't understand it either, honestly.
But yeah, I hit up all these people, and like everyone said that, so I was like, all right, sick. Like, I'm done talking to these people. Like, I'm
Right.
in a mindset where I'm like, I'm gonna level up, and either you're coming with me or
Or
you're
you're not.
staying on the level below. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not waiting. And so when I got back, like, I had reached back out to all these people. I'm like, hey, bro, like, do you want to get lunch? Do you want to hang out this Saturday? Do you want to hang out tomorrow? Like, let's go shopping, do something. Every single person, same answer. Nah, bro, I can't. Why?
Yeah.
I've got work. Oh, okay. Well, what about this day? No, I
Yeah.
have no more PTO. No, I'm actually working overtime. No, I have to be at work. Okay, like, all
Yeah.
these people have to be at work. I broke it down with one of my friends, 19 an hour, 40 hours a week for the entire year. After taxes brings you about 37 grand.
Right.
So they were working, I also calculated the hours. They're working about 2,100 hours a year for 37 grand.
Yeah.
And then, so I worked 5 months. I had just came home with a bag. And the amount of money I made was more than my friends make all year long.
So, okay. So, what's this company that you are involved with? If you want to say that name,
Oh, yeah, it's EcoShield,
EcoShield, and what's the product that they offer?
pest control.
So, where do they go mainly? Because I know Aptiv, I know they go fucking basically anywhere. I think.
Yeah.
But where does EcoShield? I've never heard of them. Personally, I've heard of some other ones. There's a lot of pest control around here, from what I know, but I don't know too many companies.
So to ultimately touch back on the last topic real quick, the
Yeah, go
last
ahead.
thing I got was a boost in confidence. 'Cause
Oh, I bet.
I'm steps ahead of or people that used to be my friends.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to be honest, I don't talk to anyone that is happy with their 9 to 5. Like,
Yeah.
truthfully, I don't openly reach out and be like, hey, do you want to hang out? The only people I hang out with are the guys that are coming out with me this summer.
Yeah, no, and we'll touch back on this topic, but just remind me. But what was it? So you guys offer?
So we've got 27 offices around the country.
Damn, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
a lot. And you guys sell pest control just anywhere, really?
Yep.
You guys go anywhere in the country?
Rich, poor, ugly, stupid, like
Yeah.
everyone.
So
We sell them all.
nice. So look at this guy. What's it called? Oh, what the fuck? So okay, so is it like a commission based type of income?
100%.
So I'm pretty sure the commission is pretty damn good then.
Oh, commission's amazing. As long as you work hard, money's there.
Yeah. Is it too much if I ask him what the commission is?
It's different depending on each person.
So let's say a rookie, and let's say how much is one pest control that if you sell one fucking bottle or whatever? I don't know what you sell really.
We
but-
sell residential pest control contracts.
Oh, okay. So it's like people that come in. Okay. How much is a contract to someone? If I was to buy a contract from you, how much would it be?
So I'd probably sell you on a full initial, and depending on your size of home, let's say you've got a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling you for $300 for the first treatment, and then $179 every 2 months.
Okay.
So that's about I want to say about a $1,300 contract
for the year.
for
For the year, right? Because
Yep.
every 2 months you charge one something. You
Yep.
said. Okay. So off that, what's the commission off a rookie? Let's say a rookie, brand new guy.
Off a rookie,
Yeah.
the commission off that, it really depends on like what they are total revenue. Let's say
Okay.
they're like 100K.
Yeah.
Let's say so 100K, and that would probably be around a few hundred just off that
Okay.
contract.
Gotcha. So it's probably
And our contracts are double Aptives contracts, just so you know.
so shit. Okay, so then you guys come back, right? And you have this money. What do you do with it then? You
I
just save
Get
it.
an apartment.
You get an apartment. Same. Yeah. So you move in here, and then now you're just waiting in for the next season.
Yeah, that's truthfully what I'm doing. I read, I train all my guys. I've got like 28 guys under my belt.
Damn.
I'm like one of the highest recruiting managers in the company right now.
Damn. And do you get a boost commission based off that? No. Oh, okay.
Nope. So I get a boost if a certain amount of guys finish. But
Oh,
realistically, I don't need 28 to do that.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I
lot of
don't.
guys.
I could have stopped about 26 guys ago,
Yeah.
but I'm hungry. So
Yeah. That makes sense.
I haven't stopped, and I'm fighting for first place.
Yeah.
I love competition, and so right now, if I remember right, I believe I'm the top manager in recruits right now.
There
I
you go.
believe so.
That's badass, bro.
Yeah.
So what's the difference now? This is a little controversial because Aptiv is pretty fucking big out here from what I know.
Yeah.
At least from what the guys that I follow that are in Aptiv post. I mean, they make sure they get the word out there about how big they are. So what's the difference between Aptiv and your company?
Well, so all the money that EcoShield makes goes back into EcoShield. We're self-funded.
Oh, okay.
Aptiv hired a marketing team,
Yeah.
The Grit. You familiar with them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of them, yep.
If I remember right, don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I believe those guys work hand in hand. So
Oh.
guys that
I think you're right, though. Don't quote me on that either, though.
guys that hire for The Grit are
Yeah.
actually hiring for Aptiv because they sell for Aptiv.
So it's like a
but they-
subdivision of Aptiv.
basically.
Wow, Jesus.
So they've got to pay their marketing team like for recruiting,
Yeah.
but like everything EcoShield is EcoShield, like self-funded,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it gets tricky when it gets into like big company. When it's just bigger company. One of the things I realized when I was in the business, I was like looking at the commission, because essentially it was commission based too, and you get money back from what you earn or whatever you sell. But I was like, this will never be my business because I'm only getting a percentage of it. I will never get 50% of the money that goes into this business.
Really?
Yeah, I think the most I would get if I was like getting into big levels would be, I think like 24%.
That is awful.
It's terrible, but it
I
was
made more than that. Like,
no, but it's different because with the business I was in, it was you create your own team, and the more of a team you have, the more of a network you have, the more volume goes through that network. And the more volume that goes through that network, the more income comes into your pocket.
I forgot that's how multi-level marketing works.
Yeah.
Like you've got to get a downline that gets a downline that gets a downline. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So like simple form to explain is like, would you rather have one big ass Walmart the size of fucking a football stadium, or would you rather have 100 Walmarts the size of a gas station?
And you'd for sure rather have 100.
Yeah, because the more volume runs through those Walmarts than one huge ass.
Yeah.
So that's how but I mean, yeah, you're making millions at that level, getting that 24% back, but you're still not half.
Yeah.
You're still not even a little bit of that because that company runs, what was the number?
They're getting 75% of what you're doing.
I think they earn about $10 billion a year. That's the revenue that company earns. And everything is owned by themselves. Everything. Actually, in Michigan, they have their headquarters there, and they have a mile-long city that's just based on themselves. Like they have their own zip code, their own telephone line, their own fire station.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're bigger than Melaleuca. So for all you all who are like, oh yeah, Melaleuca, no. This company fucking stomps on Melaleuca by 10 times, 100 times.
He was looking to say that to take a shot at Melaleuca.
Fuck Melaleuca. No.
He's been wanting to.
Love to all, but yeah, it's a pretty big company, but still, the 10 billion compared to, I think the most someone would probably earn there is about 24 million if you have a big business. 24 billion compared to 10 billion is nothing.
Yeah.
I'd
say so.
Yeah. So what do you think, what's our time?
47.
Perfect. So what do you think about, I want to ask you this, because you come back with this mindset of like, okay, these people from 9 to 5, they're just not the type of friends that I want to hang out.
I've been waiting for this.
So what is it, what do you, I don't know, how do I ask this? Why do you think is it so important to make sure that you know who you're around or who you put yourself with?
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So if someone walked up to you and you looked at him,
I like this.
like what would you think if this guy had like all sorts of jewelry? He was wearing like designer brand.
Yeah.
Like what would you think about that guy? You look at him. He comes up to you saying, "What's up?"
Guy comes up to me wearing jewelry and designer clothes.
He just looks rich, and you know what rich looks like.
And he said, "What's up?"
Yeah. He just comes up to talk to you. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go get a drink?"
We're like, "Hell yeah, dude, let's go."
Okay. Now, if you see a guy come up to you, he's wearing ripped clothes. He's got 3 teeth missing, and he's not even wearing shoes. And he says, "Yo, what's up, bro? Do you want to go get a drink?" What are you saying?
Personally?
Yep.
I'd say, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
That's just me, though.
Then, generally.
Yeah.
Let's say generally
Someone
instead
would
of
say no.
personally. Exactly.
Yeah, someone would say no.
Most people people like to say appearance means nothing. They're lying.
100%.
Everyone
Everyone
thinks
looks
something.
at how you dress, and they'll judge you based on what you dress. Because when someone looks at you, they'll judge you instantly.
Well, if they have nothing else to go off except your appearance, they're gonna go off your appearance.
Yeah.
And so now the way I think of it is, I ask someone, show me 5 of your friends, and I'll tell you your future.
Yeah.
I learned that from one of my last manager meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone hangs out with a bunch of potheads, a bunch of druggies that literally work like 3 hours every single day, just paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah.
living in a freaking box, like you're gonna look at him, you're gonna be like, bro, those are your friends.
Yep.
Like you're not gonna make it outside of, you're not gonna level up any higher than them if you hang out with them so much.
Yeah.
So the reason like I throw shots at 9 to 5s is because of their mindset. Like
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I really do, because oh, I just lost my train of thought. No, but yeah, I learned that too, that lesson, and not just by someone told me, but also by reading in books. You can read any successful book, especially business related, and a lot of them will tell you, hey, whoever you're around, whoever is your circle of influence, it's what's gonna get you to that level that you. That's
Like-
it. You know, you're not gonna get any further. I mean, like you said, if you hang out with someone who smokes pot every day, the next thing you know, that's gonna be you, or you're just gonna be around that person, and there's nothing else.
yeah, then if you're trying to level up, now you've just got baggage. Now you're just carrying him.
Yeah, sometimes even those friends, so-called friends, will even try to bring you down. You know, I remember when I was in the business, a lot of the people that I thought were friends brought me down just because I was trying to level up, even just by my appearance, dressing differently. I remember I'd go to school with a tie and fucking button-up shirt and whatnot. I looked like I was going to church, and people would make fun of me. Like, yeah, they wouldn't come up to me and fucking bully me straight up to my face, but I could tell just by hearing them in the back of, the class, when not just like laughing and
In
giggling.
the way they look at you.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just like, you guys don't know that. You guys are just so ignorant.
But it's like if you were to walk up to someone like wearing what you're wearing right now, they might think, "Oh, this is a pretty cool dude."
Yeah.
But I guarantee if you were to walk up in a suit, they would change their whole demeanor.
100%. Yeah.
And I've figured that out because there are a few guys that are on my team. I took my girlfriend out to dinner on her birthday, and I wasn't wearing this. I was
Right.
wearing a suit.
Nice.
And anyone I would talk to, they just had like a different inflection to their voice. They're like, "Oh, hey, like
Yeah, like
what's
pay
up?"
attention. Like
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
pay attention to you, because a lot of the time they're like trying to figure out, what does this guy do?
Yeah,
I learned that too, because just a lot of lessons that are taught in the business I was in is your appearance, dude. And if you wanted to go out and have a 30-year-old take you as a 19, 20-year-old serious, at the time 16, 17, dude, imagine me trying to talk to a 35-year-old about their life and the next 5 years about their life, and trying to not convince them, but trying to persuade them to, hey, I got the real opportunity. That's not easy. And to make it easier on me, I'd have to dress up as if I was a fucking businessman, which, I had to take myself seriously to begin.
yeah.
And it's hard, especially when you're beginning. I want to ask you, though, what do you think it is that the 9 to 5 people, what do you think it is that makes them so comfortable in that life?
The fact that that's all they know. Like I'd say it's not their fault, but once they hit a point where they can think for themselves,
Yeah.
like it is their fault. And a lot of them, like they loved, like people that work a 9 to 5 love to point the blame at other things. Like I don't know any different. Like I've done this my whole life. My parents have done this. Like they've all gone to college. I've got to go to college. Why?
Right.
Like why do you think you have to do that? There's nothing, you're not legally obligated to do that. And like ultimately what just makes me like irritated when I hang out with them, it's their mindset.
Yeah.
Like why would I go up and talk to that person? Why not?
Right.
Like why would I go out and try summer sales? Like regardless of what company it's with, like they could come out for EcoShield, sick. They could go out for Active, sick. Like
Yeah.
realistically, these guys that aren't even trying fail by default. These are
Yeah.
going to be people that don't do anything great. Like you could play their life in a short like 2-minute clip. There's not going to be anything great. It's going to be a lot of lifeless movement. Like sure, some people like go on sick trips. Sure, some people like get to
2
spend
weeks
money.
vacation.
Yeah, 2 weeks vacation, but these guys are also working. Like they're literally working their life away. If you think about it, they get they get 52 weekends, and some of them don't even like get to have their weekends off.
Yeah.
But Like,
That's 52 weekends in a year, guys. Right?
and yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, ultimately, like, it's your mindset. Everyone needs to treat life like a mindset. It's like, why did I wake up this morning at 5:30? Because I need to.
Yep.
Like, why do I continue doing it? I don't have to. I still have another month and a half before I get back into selling.
Yeah.
Like, why do I get up at 5? Because I know I need to.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to benefit me.
What's one of the biggest struggles that you see? Because is this your first year going in as like a team lead? Okay. So what's when you were going in as a rookie and you had the people that were selling first and then they quit, what was it, or what was one of the things that you saw that just broke them? What do you think is the main thing that breaks people in those hard times? Because 4 weeks, 5 weeks in and you're not selling anything, you could have folded, right? But you stuck through. These guys who sold in the first 5 weeks broke 5 weeks later. So what do you think was the difference? The what's the word called? Yeah, the difference between you and them.
Once again, mindset. Like,
Yeah.
excuses are for losers. You can
Yeah.
have excuses or results. Like, that's from a podcast,
Yeah.
just so you know. Like, no one cares about excuses. All that people care about are the results. You're not gonna get stories told about you for having excuses and quitting.
Right.
You're gonna have stories about like your results, your outcome. And so all these people, it's like, oh, it was hard. Oh, like, oh, it was a rough day. Oh, my legs hurt. Oh, I couldn't get up early this morning because I was tired. Like, okay, like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Like, you're just gonna throw more excuses. Oh, feel sorry for me. Like, if you're playing the feel sorry for me game, you might as well quit.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're already blaming exterior like circumstances, you've already lost.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny that you say that because that doesn't only apply in summer sales where you're out in the whole day, hot days more than anything, right? Because you sell in the summer.
Yeah.
It's hot, you're walking, you're sweaty. You also find that in your regular jobs, right? I work a 9 to 5, but in some of the jobs I've had people go in every day and complain about every little thing about their jobs. I'm just like, dude, what the fuck?
That's
You know?
literally it. Like, that's why I said, like, people need to understand that you need to change your mindset, like,
Yeah.
through everyday life. If you only try and change it for one aspect, you're never gonna keep that change. You have to incorporate it in your everyday life.
Yep.
And instead of blaming things, you need to take accountability, or you're never gonna level up.
Yep, and that's a message for everyone too. Like if you're working a 9 to 5 and you can't go do summer sales for whatever reason, let's say you have a family, you're just like, I can't go for 5 months. Go do something after work that can get you out of work in the next 2-5 years.
That's an excuse.
You think so?
Positive.
I disagree with that one.
We had a guy come out. He has a wife and 3 kids. He's 26 years old.
Jesus.
He was a bartender, and like he has a family, like, and his kids are not babies. Like, his kids are gonna know when he's gone. I think they're like 12 and 7.
Oh, wow.
And I can't remember. It's either 2 or 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
He went out there head first. Like, he was training all he could, even while being a bartender.
Wow.
He sold over $400K in revenue as a rookie. He was one of the top 5 rookies in the company.
Shout out to him.
Has a family. Like someone saying, I have a family, that's another excuse.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean, I agree, but then disagree. I agree with the point of like, don't use your family as an excuse to stay where you're at, right? I disagree with the point of like, if you literally can't go out for 5 months, at least find something that you do want to do, right? Because a lot of the times it's not something that you can't. It's more so, I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
And that's fair. But do something that's going to get you out of that 9 to 5, right? And that's something that you personally have to figure out, right? Like for me, for example, this podcast, I was like, summer sales, I don't really want to go do summer sales. I don't want to say it's not for me.
Not appealing.
But yeah, it doesn't appeal me. And I know that I could do probably good at it, but it just doesn't interest me.
Selling pest control isn't exactly sexy.
Right.
So
and I tried to fucking sell makeup and shit for 4 years. So I was like, I'm
What is
done
that?
with that
Is
world.
that Avon?
No, no. No, I try to sell
That'd
makeup,
be some
fucking
shit.
Christmas baskets and
I was like,
Valentine
my grandma
gifts.
used to do that.
No, and shampoo. I try to sell shampoo, protein, and all that shit. But I was like, I'm just done with the selling stuff right now. Now I'm gonna pursue something that I'm actually appealed to and I actually really want to do, which is podcasting. So yes, I'm working my 9 to 5, but I'm giving the rest of my energy, day, and passion to
To
this
something
project.
that isn't a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where I disagree. But I agree with you. It's like because I've heard that too. Oh, I can't because my family. Oh, because we would have meetings all the time, and some of the people would be like, "Oh no, I can't because my family got this," or my uncle. It's like, dude, you're using your uncle,
No, you know what a good one is?
huh?
I have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
that one is so great. It's comedy when I hear that one because it's like, that's cool, bro. I do too.
Yeah.
The only difference was like I wasn't worried. I
Yeah.
told her, I was like, hey, like we need to figure out like what's going on. I'm going out for this job.
Yep.
Just wanted to tell you about it so I know what actions we need to take.
yeah,
We're still together. We're going on 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro,
There
a
you go.
girlfriend is not like, it's not a reason. It's an excuse.
exactly. A lot of people use girlfriends, moms, cats, dogs, fish. Literally, someone who doesn't want to get out of the hole, it's because they just don't want to.
They
That's
will
sad.
find any excuse.
They will find anything. Oh, my fucking microwave turned off and I don't know how to turn it back on, so I have to go buy a new one. You can't wait. You know, you have to go buy a microwave. You know, I've heard those excuses all the time, dude. And I was just, at the time, and I was like, why?
Well,
You know?
so it's like we are in 2023, right?
Yep.
Like,
But you know, one more thing before
Yeah.
I sorry to cut you off.
you're good.
But I find that a lot of it is the surrounding, where we're at living. A lot of it is where we live in it's a small town still. A lot of people here are just used to seeing people go work, come back home, wife is cooking, has a meal done. That's your life. You buy a house when you're 25 years old, you're $450,000 in debt on top of medical bills because you have 2 kids by the time you're 27, and that's life. That's it. And then you work at this fucking factory, you get paid $19 an hour. You think you're doing pretty well. You go buy a car for $26,000. You're more in debt now, $500,000.
Well,
And that's it.
Don't forget, like, working after college for, like, staying in that field to climb the corporate ladder for about 30 years. So by then, you're about 60 years old, and you're probably going to work another 10 years because that job that you got that little paper that says, oh, you graduated with this,
Yep.
like, it's not effective. And so now they just worked 40 years of their life away after being in debt. And now they have to retire at the age of 70 for like 5 years of a fun life only to die.
Yeah. And that's the sad truth. Now, I want to make it clear here that we are not trying to diss on anyone that works a 9 to 5 because I work a 9 to 5 myself. Well, all we're trying to say, and I think you can agree with me, is that there's more to life than just a 9 to 5. So go fucking do it, you know?
Yeah, like we're in 2023. Like you could go collect chairs and sell them on Facebook Marketplace. Make easy $300 every day just by doing that. Like
There's so many ways to
sky
make
is
money.
the limit.
Yeah. You know what's cool though is that I think our generation is still very stuck on this old model of growing up, but the generation that follows us, which is like my brother, her sister,
My brother.
who's like 13, 12 years old, those fools, there will be more millionaires in that generation than any other generation because my brother, her sister does bracelets and sells them at school. She makes a good, $50-100 at least a month, depending on how much.
1,500?
No, 50.
Oh, 50 to 100. I
Yeah.
was like, 1,500.
Like, how much is selling them
I was
for?
like, what is she doing?
Yeah. And then my brother sells chips and Gatorades and makes $100 a
Oh,
month.
dang. So
So it's
both your
like-
siblings are trapping.
Yeah. So I'm like, dude, I wish I was doing that in middle school,
Yeah,
8th grade.
my little brother's following in my footsteps, so he's coming out this summer.
Yeah. See, that's badass.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
How
that's
old
what I'm
is he?
saying.
He turns 18 in February.
There you go. So that's what's badass is that these kids, and these kids are seeing a lot of these, examples now that we're, moving into this more entrepreneurial generation, because it's the best time, I believe, to make anything happen.
I think it's just the fact that like with this older generation, like all these kids are still like being spoon fed.
Yeah.
Like they're being told what to do, how to do it, and like at the age of 18, like I remember how it was like kids would get kicked out.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, hey, now you're on your own, you're 18, like you should have been working by now, like you should be ready to get your own place.
Yep.
And now it's like there are people that are
Dude,
like
there's
28.
kids that are 25, 26, 27, 28, like you said, living in their parents' house. To each their own, but to me, I'm like, all right,
It's like,
wouldn't you want your own place? Doesn't having your own place, going in, coming out anytime you want, having anyone over at any time you want, doesn't that sound nice to you?
and I think that's personally why, like when I was homeless, like I didn't ask my mom for help. I
Yeah.
just told her like I was homeless. She let me use her car for a month. That's it.
Yeah.
Then whenever she needed money, like I would send it to her because I
Yep.
just knew I could handle that position and I wouldn't want her to.
Yeah.
So like I think being homeless really like helped my mindset because it's like if
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
homeless, like
If you can get
What
through
do I
that
have to
homeless
lose?
stage, dude, you can get through a lot of other shit.
yeah, it's like I was at a point in my life where I could literally say, what do I have to lose?
Right.
And there's nothing I have to lose. Maybe my car, so what?
Yep.
Like maybe a phone bill, so what?
Yep.
And truthfully, like that just goes to say, like anyone that has excuses, they're just not bound for success or
Yeah.
extreme success.
And a lot of the people that don't want to get out of the comfort zone and don't want to experience pain, you have to experience pain to grow. Doesn't matter who you are. If you stay in the comfort zone your whole life, you will never grow as a person. Your character will never grow. You're just going to stay there, and you're going to hope and wish that everyone around you does everything for you because that's what you grew up with, Oh, mom this, dad this, sister this, brother this. It's like, dude, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to have. Because I think and I believe that if you want to grow as a person, it doesn't have to be millionaire status either. If you just want to be a better person, you have to go through some pain.
Yeah.
So let's say you're feeling like shit because you're overweight. Go to the fucking gym. Experience that pain of lifting a 20-pound weight. Tomorrow you're going to be a better person because of that.
Experience like waking up
Yeah.
at 6 a.m. because they've probably been waking up at noon or 2 o'clock for the past
Exactly.
5 years.
Yeah. Go try out a job. Okay, you don't like that job? Leave that job.
Get a
On
new
to the
one.
next one. Find your spot and then grow. Read books, for God's sake. Do you know what? Don't even read. Listen to books.
I read personally. I can't
Me too.
listen to it or else I'll just like get
I
off
lose
topic
track.
and it becomes
Yeah.
background noise.
You lose track and
But-
you're like, what chapter am I in again?
Yeah, but it truthfully comes down to like I don't know why, but like in our day and age, like when someone quits a job, they're frowned upon. It's like why? Like if someone
Yeah.
quit that job because they didn't like it, then you wouldn't want someone there that doesn't like their job anyways.
Yeah.
Like, and so like all these people that stay at their jobs just because like they don't want their parents to get mad at them, they
Yeah.
don't want their friends to get mad at them. It's truthfully like it comes down to, are you doing this for yourself or are you doing this for your parents and your friends?
Yeah.
Like why are you going to be miserable in a place that you're working just to make your parents and your friends happy?
I agree. Yeah. And that's one of the sad truths of this world, of this generation, is that a lot of times it's the parents. Friends, yeah, have some part, but a lot of times it's the parents just wanting you to do exactly what they say or what they think is right. And I don't know. It's like, dude, I don't believe in that. I think that you as a person, as an individual, have to experience failure. The only way you're going to experience failure is by letting go of what your parents hold you up to. If your dad, mom says, hey, I want you to go to school for this, this, and that, and you know damn well you don't want to go to school for that, then why are you going? Don't go for that. You're saving them money. You're saving yourself time. And you're going to go do something that you're actually passionate about. And if you don't know what you want to do with your life, experience things. Fail at things. Go try somersaults. You don't like it? Hey, you tried it. Go do an MLM. You don't like it? Hey, you tried it. Go do a fucking construction business. You don't like breaking your back? Me neither. On to the next one, you know?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's rough.
Like, I guess, oh, shoot, what was I going to say? I had, oh, yeah. So are either of you guys familiar with like Gary Vee?
Yeah, I know who Gary Vee is. He's a entrepreneurial guy. Started his own. Well, he took his dad's wine shop, made it into multi-million dollar company, and then now fucking sells NFTs online.
Yeah, and like I guess you would say motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Mainly of the way he tells people. He's like, hey, you need to wake the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
you're in your 20s, you're 18, you graduated high school. Like, college is only good for those people that have it paid for. Like, yeah definitely,
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
4 free years of partying.
Yeah.
But if you're in your 18 or in your 20s, like that's the most like viable way. Like that's where you make your mistakes.
Yeah.
Because then you learn. And if you found like something that really clicks, then you're bound for success.
Yeah, and that's something my mentor told me. And he's like, Brandon, he's like, let's say, yeah, the plan is for 2 to 5 years to push at this and make this work, right? Let's say it doesn't happen, but let's say you keep pushing and it happens 10 years later and you're, how old are you right now? I'm like, I'm 19. He's like, let's say you're 30. And at 30, it just takes off. Wouldn't you rather have that than quit at the 5-year mark and not have anything by 30? Right? I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, I would go for 10 years straight on this pain ride of roller coasters and do that, then work for the next 50 years. When at 30, I can have something that can, you know, support me, my family.
Yeah, to fall back on.
Yeah, exactly. But people can't see long term, you know? They see short term.
You want
Oh,
fast
what's the
cash.
weekend? You know, what's gonna happen this weekend? Oh yeah, we're gonna go party, we're gonna go buy this. Sure, fun, you know, but what's gonna happen 5 years from now? Because time flies, dude. I'm 21, married already.
Y'all married? I did not know that.
Yeah, dude.
Congrats. Okay. I did not know you guys were married. That's so sick.
Yeah, almost a year.
Almost a year in April.
Wait, that you've guys been married?
Yep.
Dang, how long have you guys been together in total?
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Dang,
2 years,
okay.
Yeah, I put that ring on real quick. And I was like, that's the one. This is the one. So I took her off the market. But
Nice.
let's close it out, guys. This was a great conversation. We should have another podcast, dude. We'll
Bro,
have to have it
I'm
for part
for
2.
sure down.
Yeah.
For sure.
Any
And
last
then,
message you have?
Shoot. I've got a quote.
Yeah.
So like when it's the scariest to take an opportunity, that's when you take it. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck in the same place the rest of your life.
There you go. Hell yeah. That's badass. Social medias, bro? Anywhere they can reach you if they're interested in summer cells?
Yeah, at.jg on Instagram.
There you go. Go check them out, guys. DM him if you're interested in door-to-door sales and whatnot. And then go check us out at the OAP official on Instagram, Brandon and Laura, my personal. And then
And J with 3A, CKIE _.
go check us out. Love you all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Josiah, for coming through and being a part of this. Hope you have fun. Did you have fun?
Oh, I had a lot of fun. I'm
Hell
waiting
yeah.
for part 2.
Part
Part 2
two.
soon.
Part 2 is going to be sick. All right, guys. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.